Christmas achieved. Salutations! I'm Becca, this is Words Another Malarky, and we are in December. I need to probably talk about my winter TBR because that's a thing, and it's like halfway through the month by now, and I definitely have one, kind of. So first, let's start with the rollover from fall, because there's always rollover, you know, I've got to get those rollover minutes, and I definitely didn't get through my entire fall TBR, which is fine, totally fine, it happens, very normal, very average. So, of course, the enigmatic Kingdom Keepers 4, which I have right here, is rolling over because I did not get to it this fall. I am just so exhausted. And if you don't believe me, go watch my latest Kingdom Keepers rant, the Kingdom Keepers 3 rant, and you will get a very good idea of what these books do to me. Next, we have Crosstalk by Connie Willis. This is a science fiction romance about this like futuristic technology that basically allows you to read your significant other's thoughts, and this girl gets the operation only to have connected with somebody who's not her significant other. Sounds pretty interesting, I think. I had this recommended to me by my local library. I had 2 other books recommended to me, and I have a whole video plan for this one, but I actually have to get through the books first, and I did not get through this one this past season, nor did I get through the other one on that list, which is All Our Wrong Todays by Elon Mastai, and that one is about a man from the 2016 that the 1950s thought we'd have, who time travels, I guess, to the 2016 that we know. And he's like horrified. And it sounds very like almost like Meet the Robinsons, but like a little more mature. So I'm very interested in that one also, but you know, I didn't get to it yet. So we'll get there. There's fine. And then also rolling over once again is the Alexander Hamilton biography by Ron Chernow. I did not read a page of it this fall. I just had so many other things to do, and this book is such a commitment, and I really, really want to read it. Like, I am committed. I said I was going to read everything in my home library. That is almost a year ago now that I said I was going to do that, and I do plan on doing it before the end of my lifetime. I just don't think that a year is is quite the scope anymore. Hopefully, I will actually get some pages read in this very chonky boy. All right, now we have the new stuff. Yay! Let's talk about first what I'm currently reading. Book number 1, which is down here, and I'm not gonna take. Okay, I'll take it out. I'm just gonna ruin my set. Apparently, is what I set this up for. Oh, I knocked over my tree. I want to hold it up because this cover is so pretty. And I actually own this book for once. This is Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. I had this on my winter TBR before I learned that Ink and Tomes was going to do this book for their book club. And so they asked me if I wanted to read it, and I'm like, oh my god, I was going to read it anyway. So I'm super duper excited. I'm a couple of chapters in, and so far it's really interesting. It's basically about this little inn on a river, and one night this guy shows up with this girl that they assume is dead, but actually like magically comes back to life. And basically it's almost like a mystery, but we're also very much exploring like the characters that frequent this inn. It's going to be I feel like it's going to be a very full scope book. And this cover, of course, is absolutely gorgeous. So, you know, judging a book by its cover, this is a good one in my book. I am also currently reading The Enchanted Sonata by Heather Dixon Walwork. Okay, there's a story behind this one. So if you followed my NaNoWriMo vlogs at all, you will know that, I mean, first of all, I'm a little obsessed with the Nutcracker, just a little bit. It's like my favorite holiday season thing, and it is the holiday season to me. But I love it so much that I decided to write a story based on the world of the Nutcracker. But then I got a little curious and wondered if anybody else had done this. And so upon research, learned that yes, in fact, there had been plenty, because there's nothing new under the sun. And the one that looked the most interesting to me was this one, The Enchanted Sonata, because it also sounds the most similar to the story I am currently writing. So far, it is quite enjoyable, very whimsical, very much drawing upon the imagery of the ballet, but in very different ways than I did, which is good news for me. It makes me feel less like a fraud. Also on this TBR is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexander Christo. This is only on here because my sister read it and said it was bad, and I got really curious. I started reading it, but then it was due back to the library, so I have temporarily DNF'd it, but I do plan on un-DNFing it when I can get it again. So far I see why she gave the review that she did, but I'm also intrigued enough that I would actually try to read this and try to learn something from it, because you can definitely learn from bad books, and there are some strengths to this book apparently as well, so I want to experience those strengths too. Moving on, I also have in here another book that I picked up in my last book haul. This is The Weight of Feathers by Anna Marie McLemore, and I just love this cover. I just can't get over it. But it's basically supposed to be like Romeo and Juliet, but in a circus, which I feel like is probably comparable to the Night Circus. Oh no, they did. Yeah, right on the cover. A gripping, beautifully rendered story, and a fantastical world as captivating as that of the Night Circus. Sabah Tahir, author of An Ember in the Ashes. So this got some pretty good critical reception. I'd never heard of it. I just liked the cover. You know how this goes. So I'm hoping that it's good and that it is not lame. Another one on this list that I've read before but is just such a perfectly wintry read that I just feel like I have to revisit it again is Sun and Moon, Ice and Snow by Jessica Day George. This is based on, I think, Norwegian or Scandinavian folklore. It's actually the story from which I believe Beauty and the Beast gets its, like, inspiration. It's basically this girl is whisked away to this magical enchanted palace by this polar bear after she does something that warrants her being whisked away by said polar bear. I don't remember, but you know how Beauty and the Beast goes. It's basically like that. I also have on here, but we'll see if this actually happens, the second book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I don't remember the name of it, but it follows the same like title structure. I think this was the beginning of the blank of blank and blank trend that everybody seems to be doing. As you know from my fall wrap-up, I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone this past fall, and it was okay enough that I want to continue the series, so I do want to pick up the second one if I can remember the title of it. But for reasons I've already said, I will not be picking up the audiobook. So I also have Defy the Fates on here by Claudia Gray. That is the third book in the Constellations trilogy that I have been working through and that I really love. Sci-fi romance, like galaxy sweeping. But the driving force for this book is the romance between a soldier girl and a android boy, and it is beautiful and I love it and I am so there for it, and I really want to finish this series. So hopefully I can do that this winter, because finishing a series is something I have not done in a very long time, and it would make me feel very, very good to do that. So, New Year's resolutions maybe? Maybe. I guess I have a lot of like series on here. I'm either wanting to finish or continue series this season. So, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a series of endings and beginnings, you know. Because I have Skybreaker by Kenneth Opel, book 2 in the Airborne trilogy, and I read Airborne, oh god, like a year ago, and I meant to read the rest of the series. My sister tells me I really need to. It's like one of her favorite series, so I will eventually. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and I should probably like remind myself what the first one was about, since it's been like a year. But it's basically a very steampunky world where airships are a major form of transportation, and it follows a teenage boy who is a crew member on one of these ships. I also have To Die Like a Gentleman, which is by Bernard Bastable, which is a pen name for Robert Barnard. If you know from my fall wrap-up video, I read Dead Mr. Mozart by him this past season. It was good. I really liked his writing style. I think I said that in the video. So I want to read something else by him. I'm just not ready to read the second Dead Mr. Mozart book. So I'm going for this one, which is basically about a young governess that solves a murder. So that sounds like it could be pretty cool, depending on how they spin it. I'm loving these like old-time murder mysteries. I want more Agatha Christie, I want more Sherlock Holmes, I want more Robert Barnard type stuff, so maybe that'll become a thing that I do more often. Pretty cool, I like it. I also want to read A Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, because I enjoyed Enchantment of Raven so much. I want more of her beautifully descriptive, imagery-heavy writing. I also have on here The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. This was a recommendation I got from a fellow booktuber. I'll put her channel right here so you can go check out her lovely videos. Another one that she recommended was The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. This is like a retelling of A Christmas Carol that I probably will not get to this month, so I won't be upset if I don't actually ever get to this one. I just wanted to remember that it was a thing because it sounded really interesting to me. So I would read it outside of the Christmas season, but if I can't get to it until next Christmas season, at least I will have a head start on winter 2021. Yay. And that is my entire list, apparently. That's like 16 books, which is actually pretty good. That's averaging like 4 to 5 a month, which would be a lot for me. It seems like my average is 3 to 4. I can barely get through a book a week. I am so slow, so very slow. I'm really just banking on the fact that in winter you're inside a lot more often, and I want a lot of snow days so that I can just curl up with a book and read and have a good time with it. Let me know what's on your winter TBR and whether any of these books sound good to you, or if you've read any of these books. Be sure to, you know the drill, like, comment, subscribe for more videos that are at least 50% less entertaining than this one. So until next time, keep it weird and go enjoy your holiday season. We are halfway through it. It's great. It's fine. By the way, in case you're wondering, no, I didn't just change my shirt from the last video. What the heck are you talking about, crazy?